Hi, I'm Andrew at Baker's Gas, and we're here today with the Fronius AccuPocket. So, the question I have for you guys is, why should I not buy this AccuPocket? You know that we get a lot of questions about these things. We sell a ton of them. They're very, very popular. They're on sale now. And this is the lowest price I've ever seen these things at, and they're moving quick. They're awesome machines, but why should I not buy it? So that's the question here, and it really is a good question because a lot of people ask us, I have power, I have a power source, I got good power, do I need an AccuPocket? Well, no. If you have good wall power or you got good generator power, you might as well buy an Ignis 180 or an Argus 210, and you got good power, you got good extension cords. Where this thing fits into place is for people who are in a pinch, they don't have good power. Where I've seen it in the field is farm implements in the middle of a field. People don't have power that comes to them, right? They don't have generators. They might, but they're not portable. So they grab their AccuPocket, run it out there. We've seen it in the rail yards too. So you're running down the track, something breaks, a switch breaks, something like that. They just need 4 inches of weld. Good Lord, they hop out of their truck, they grab their AccuPocket, and they weld it up. And they don't need to bring in generators and mobile units and string out 100-foot lead. They just bring out their AccuPocket out of their case, weld it up, it's fixed, the job goes on, we keep carrying on. Another thing is power generation. We see a ton of it in that. And I don't know if you are familiar with that, but a lot of these power plants and stuff, they string out lead off engine drives or off power sources hooked to the wall. Well, they're never in a spot where something breaks. These guys, they've gained a ton of popularity because they're always on, floor 9 of the power plant. Well, there might be one plug near where they're trying to get to, but their welder won't stretch, so they got to stretch 100-foot of lead out there. They just grab the AccuPocket and go. And most of the time, I'm telling you, 95% of the time, these people are making 2 to 4 inch welds, and that's it. They're running 3 to 4 stick electrodes. They're not running this thing. They're not maxing it out, right? They're not just overrunning it and keep 17 to 20 electrodes out of this thing. No, they're making small welds or they're in a pinch. Something broke. So that's where you should buy it at. Now, why I shouldn't buy it is the cost is higher, obviously, than the other 110, 220 units. But if you can't justify that extra cost, right, don't buy it. If you got good power, don't buy it. But if you're in a pinch and you need something in the middle of the field, just the other day, I had an implement breakdown in the middle of the field. We ran out there. I didn't have a generator. I didn't have power out there. I was going to run an extension cord. But heck, we were like 400 yards. I mean, that's a tremendous amount of cord to run for something like that. It wasn't going to work. So I grabbed my AccuPocket. I ran out there. Ran about 12 inches of weld. Didn't have to charge it, and it worked, right? Got it back up and running. Everything was going good, and then we got it back in off the field, and we obviously did final repairs or stiffened it up and everything, but we had to get it back up and running, right? So that's where it's a time saver. It's a game changer when it comes to something like that. If you're in a pinch and time's worth everything that you have right then and there, you got to buy an AccuPocket. These things save a ton of time. They're awesome. They're portable. And if you're new to the AccuPocket world, you can see, we'll turn this thing on. We got stick, cellulose, TIG, and then SP is just for a service thing. But stick is 7018, cellulose is a 6010 rod, so this will burn 6010. And then it has TIG output as well. So we got our remote control on the back. And then we do have a gas solenoid for a TIG torch as well. So we can run a TIG torch off this thing, and you can get about 6 to 7 minutes on a TIG torch at max amperage, 140 amps on a TIG torch. So if you need a TIG weld in a pinch, it's awesome for that. Now that machine in that kit is a little bit more money than just the stick only unit, but if you're in a pinch and you need a TIG weld, this is awesome to have. But as far as the stick 7018 and the 6010, it'll do 140 amps on 7018. So you can run a 5/32 electrode on this. I've ran it. It runs good. You don't get very many on the battery life, but it still runs it. And then you can obviously run 17 to 20 3/32 electrodes on this unit, which is awesome because that's a ton of electrode. That's a lot of welding time. And I think people forget about that. They say, oh, 7 to 10 electrodes, that's nothing. I can, that's not a lot. Well, it's a lot when you're in a pinch. I mean, you can run 7 to 10 12-inch electrodes on this thing. So that's a lot of welding to get done in a short amount of time that you don't need to charge. But obviously on this unit, let me grab the charger real quick and I'll show you that. So this unit comes with a charger, comes in a contractor kit. So it comes in a nice carrying case with wheels and a handle and a shoulder strap. It all fits down in there. It's got little slots all cut out. But there's the charger there. So you can see the active charger 1000. So we got a charging, quick charge, and you just hit quick charge. So on quick charge, we can get our battery from dead to 80% in 30 minutes. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour on regular charge. But in 30 minutes, we can get it up to 80%. So really, that's a coffee break, a lunch break. You plug it back in, you're back up and running. You can run them off generator, you can charge them off generators, wall outlets. I mean, anything that's 110 power, you can charge it. And the beauty of this thing is you can weld with it while it's hooked up to the charger. You can't outrun 332nd electrodes, so what it's doing, it's always filling the battery. You're always running off the battery life. You're never running off wall power. So just keep that in mind. So when you plug it in, you're always using the battery, not using wall power, but the wall power is charging the battery. So you can still run 332nd, lights out, you won't outrun it, but when you go to 1/8 inch or 532nd, you can catch up with that battery charge. And I'm just saying, you can still weld with it plugged in. You won't hurt the machine, it's always running off battery power. And then you can see here, the unit comes with 25mm DINs connections. A lot of people, we get a lot of comments, well, that's too small, how can I get 140 amps through that? It works, it's fine, it works just fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's been engineered. This technology is now, this year's been out for 10 years. It's been on the market for 10 years, so it's been tried and true. We don't see a lot of them come back for service. As far as the service goes, we see them, the ones that do come back, they get broke. And they usually get dropped, crushed, smashed. The screens get hit. Don't know how people do this stuff. I had one guy tell me that it doesn't float. That's the only downside to it. Well, yeah, it'll sink, right? It's weight. It's 26 pounds. It's heavy. But other than that, service-related wise, there's a 3-year warranty on these things. If your battery goes out in 3 years, they will replace that battery in 3 years. If it goes out outside the warranty, call us and we'll discuss a price on that unit and getting it fixed or getting it replaced. Other than that, awesome little units. There's another negative thing I want to point out about them and why you should not buy it is if you're in extremely cold weather, I do not recommend this unit. So if this is going to sit outside and it gets down 10 degrees Fahrenheit at night, it's going to kill this thing. They do not perform well in cold conditions. So if you're in a cold situation and the thing is heated up right in your truck cab or in a barn or in your house, right, you can still use it. But if the batteries get below 20 degrees, it goes into a low power mode and it shuts it off. So it doesn't want to kill itself because of the temperature outside. So it is smart enough to shut itself down. But what I'm saying is if you're storing it outside and it is at 10 degrees or below, you're going to kill this unit. It really doesn't like cold weather. So keep that in mind when you're trying to purchase these units or you're looking at different stuff. These battery units do not like cold weather. If you got any questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll do our best to answer them. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for some more.